I was shocked at how great the product was, frankly, and kind of equally sad about how poorly it was being presented.
When we saw the RXBAR sort of the rebrand and the repackage, and then the campaign and the growth of this bar, it always struck a chord with me because I think there's something so simple in the execution of the package and the copy on it with the ingredients listed with no BS that speaks so deeply into the kind of culture and origin story and purpose of that brand.
It's very transparent, frankly. If you appreciate the RX Bar package, you'll appreciate the founder of RX Bar. It's a direct line to Peter's whole personality. Peter Ray Hall, the founder, with Jared Smith and Sam McBride. Those are the three we met when they were all up in arms about their packaging, which they hated. They hated it, and they had spent a lot of money on it, and they had a phenomenal product. I mean, the first time we met them, there was a sampling of the new uh, chocolate sea salt flavor that Peter was developing. He said, "Here, taste this," and I went, "Oh my god, this tastes so indulgent. This can't be good for me." But I was shocked at how great the product was, frankly, and kind of equally sad about how poorly it was being presented. They designed the bar for CrossFit, and the name of the bar is a dog whistle to CrossFitters. RX Bar. It's the reflective of the prescribed workout regimen of CrossFitters, and it worked. It was very smart what they did, and so CrossFitters are very much a club, and they really appreciated that there was something being created for them. They wanted to break into the larger market. They wanted to get into Kroger, and no one was paying attention to them because their packaging was essentially invisible. It looked like everything else. It was very corporate, is what I would call it. The typefaces on the package tended towards Helvetica, and everything seemed to be sort of default. And they kind of got ripped off, frankly. It was some package design firm, and they said it was 12 rounds of revisions, and they hated it. So we assessed it, and we went away for a couple of days. Victor and I did, and we said, let's just take this and devise some questions to see how we can get to the root of how did this happen? How did you become so unhappy? You're in control. I mean, this is your brand, your product. You made it in your basement. You named it. They did their original packaging themselves, which frankly was better. What they did on PowerPoint was better
Yes.
than what they paid for. And we actually told them that. We said, well, you should go back to what you did first. And so we looked on the package, and uh, all the new terminology about bad things was coming up, like non-GMO and no artificial ingredients, no added sugar, all those things, and that was all contained within a little box, a square box on the package that had Helvetica type, and in each little box of the boxes was non-GMO, no added sugar, no artificial flavors, and the last one said no BS. And Victor and I went, I wonder what that is. So we went back for our second meeting, and we said, all right, here's our assessment. Why did you do this? Why does that say that? Why does it say prescribed by nature? Why are you pushing the whole, like, it's feeling very medical? Well, it was CrossFit, but we moved, right. So we assessed everything. We said, oh, by the way, we know GMO, all the other stuff, but what is BS? And Peter just kind of looked at us crazy and said, well, bullshit. And we were incredulous. We said, you put no bullshit on your package. Well, yeah. Well, why? Well, because every other protein bar out there has bullshit ingredients in it. People are getting bullshitted. They think they're eating stuff that's healthy, but they're not. They're eating sugar and all this crap, this bullshit. We found the pulse.
Yeah.
And all we did from then on was just we kept our finger on that pulse, and we kept checking it at every turn, and it proved to be a common element, a direct line from Peter Ray Hall himself, who is straightforward, honest, and no bullshit, through his product, which contains no bullshit, And so we almost felt like it was evident that we had to do a package that was no bullshit to strip away any facade that might keep you from reading the label. So we made the label up front, and it's signed off with no BS. That's the signature.
I love
And
that.
it's the truth. It's the truth. It's how they built their company. It's how they hired. It's how they spoke to people. It's how they've gone about. That's how they went about their business from day one. It was this. It was the truth.
You ultimately lost is the wrong word, but the RX account moved to a big agency, Wyden Kennedy, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. Yes.
But you weren't, most creatives I meet are lament when they lose it. Can you talk a little bit about what it was like handing something like that over, and what your thoughts are about it?
Well, we've always admired Wyden and Kennedy. How do you not? I mean, the home of Just Do It. I mean, it's iconic.
Mm.
We've always admired other agencies, the award-winning agencies, of course. We admire the ones who do the smart work, and not just the ones who win all the boxes of trophies, but the ones who do the smartest work. There's no denying Wyden and Kennedy. It's again, it's iconic. And then when the big sale happened, Victor and I were having lunch with Peter, and he said, we're looking at big agencies. And it was, well, of course you are. I mean, you're basically Kellogg bought them so they could go global.
Yeah.
And certainly an agency of two people is not equipped to go global. We are more than confident in creating global level ideas, but fulfilling them does take an army.
Mm.
And so we knew the dynamic. And so when Peter said, we're looking at big agencies, we kind of gulped. And like, who are you looking at? He said, Wyden Kennedy. We went, that's awesome. We're like, yes, that's great. That's great.